Hi everybody, my name is Savannah Jorgensen, and the lesson that I am going to choose to explain is going to be similar or congruent shapes. And the way that I would go about teaching this lesson would be we will start by going over a few different vocabulary words, such as the word congruent. Congruent means that when two shapes are the exact same in both shape and size, that is what makes them congruent. And for the next word, it will be similar. This means that when two shapes are different in size but are proportionally the same shape, that makes them similar, meaning that you have a larger box compared to a smaller box. They're similar, but they're not congruent because they're two different sizes. And then if the shapes are neither, that means that the two shapes are neither the same size nor shape. We will discuss these vocabulary words and then go over a few examples. And then once I feel that everybody has a full understanding of this topic, and after I've answered all the questions of everybody, we will then go into a class activity where the students will have an opportunity to have 3 minutes to walk around the classroom and find different objects that we will compare as a class to decide if they are similar or congruent. An example that we will be able to use as a class is using two items such as my mouse pad that I have here and my phone that I have here. As a class, we'll look at the objects and then we'll decide together if those objects are similar or congruent or neither. And in that example, the objects are similar because they are both the same shape, but they're not equally the same size, so that would make them similar. And then another example would be these two pencils that I have. These are two just random objects that can be found in a classroom that we would be able to use fully. And after looking at the two different pencils that we have, as a class, we'll come to the conclusion that the pencils are congruent because they are the exact same shape and size. So that makes them congruent, not similar, because to be similar, they would have to be different in size. But being that they are the same size, they are congruent. And then lastly, as an example to show neither, would be to use my phone and a pencil, which is something that can be found in a classroom. And those would be neither similar nor congruent because they are neither the same shape or the same size. So they're just not relatively close to each other as objects in any way. Once that activity is done, it will take about an hour to go through that activity to make sure everybody understands the difference between similar and congruent. The students will be sent home with a 5-question homework assignment with multiple choice questions regarding different shapes and sizes that will be compared on the paper, and the students will have to decide if it is similar, congruent, or neither. And they'll just do this by circling the answer, and then as a class, we'll go over that, and then it'll be turned in for a grade at the end of the class. And then following that, there will be a 5-question quiz that is going to be very similar to what the homework assignment looked like. It will have, for each question, there will be two shapes. The students will decide if they are similar, congruent, or neither. And then the quiz will be worth 10 points, 2 questions each for the quiz. And then that is the way that I plan on teaching the lesson and explaining it to the students, along with assigning homework and following with a short quiz to assess their knowledge. Thank you for listening.